Hey guys, it's Ross here, back with another video, and today I'm talking about how to survive lockdown as a filmmaker. Now, I know many of you are going to feel uncertain about the current time, so I want to share as much experience as I can about the kind of strategies that we're going to be using here as a production company that you can implement yourself to make the best out of a worse situation. So let's get right into the video. Hey guys, it's Ross here, back with another video, and today I'm talking about how to survive lockdown as a filmmaker. Now, I know that many of you are going to feel uncertain and unsure about the current time that we're in, so I want to provide as much helpful information as I can and share with you things that we're doing as a UK-based production company. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So if you're new around here, please hit the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot, and we're starting to build our various communities, one of which is on my YouTube channel, and we also have our aspiring videographers and filmmakers group on Facebook, which now has over 1,000 members. And now it's my absolute goal to give more away for free than most people would make you pay for. And we're already doing this in so many ways, because it really occurred to me at the start of the first lockdown that we were doing so well and so many of my friends who were filmmakers weren't. And it instantly made me think, why is that? Because there's nothing special about me, so what am I doing differently that other people aren't doing, which is making us have greater success? And on the back of that, I found a newfound love for teaching people, and really, I took so much more away from it, from seeing other people get results, and we've had many people pass through the Perspective Academy and our various free courses and groups that we're running. And for me, that was really rewarding, which is why I'm sitting here today trying to give as much value as I can to other people. So please do hit that subscribe button, join the Aspiring Videographers and Filmmakers group, and check out the Perspective Academy, because we're currently running a free module on there too. Now today I'm going to give you my 5 top tips on the things that we do to survive lockdown. And I'm going to cut straight to the point here, because really it all revolves around you being proactive. I'm going to give you various strategies and things to focus on which are going to really excel your growth over this time. And at least at absolute minimum, these tips are going to set you up for when things do start returning back to normal, if that's a thing or ever going to be a thing again. But I'm going to try and provide as much stable information so that you can set yourself up for the future and also try and make some sales over this period of time. Now, if you are feeling uncertain, then look, I think we all are, and I think anxiety for everyone, whether you suffer with it more than most people or not, and everyone's going to just feel very unsure and very anxious about what's to come. So hopefully I can provide a little bit of experience and education that will just help you know that you're not alone and that there's other people going through the same thing, because I can guarantee you there are millions of filmmakers, photographers, creative people that are going through exactly the same feelings and thought process that you are. And I'm a huge advocate of mindset. I teach so much mindset-based business strategies through my course, because if you have the wrong mindset, your outlook is always going to be negative. You know, if you take this as the world's ending and it's terrible and I'm not going to make any sales, no one's going to want my clients because no one's spending money, because no one wants my videos because they don't have the money to spend, then guess what? You're going to be right. You're right if you do, and you're right if you don't. If you think that you can't do something, you're right. If you think you can do something, you're right. So please do take a positive mindset into this. I know it's not the best out there, but you can definitely make money and make sales. Over the first lockdown period, we were able to have some of our best months, and we're talking tens of thousands of pounds over that period of time. We had some quieter months too, but because we had people on these RCP systems, which I'm going to talk to you about as well, we were never worried, because we were aware that we were always going to make our break-even points through the strategies that we've put in place so far. And it's the same for the people in the Perspective Academy as well. One of the first things I do is teach people these strategies, because I've been able to set up so many people since the first lockdown with regular paying clients to provide a stable business structure, so that when this lockdown comes round, they're a little bit less scared, they're a little bit less worried, because they know they have a regular amount of money coming in each time. So those things are really important. But I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves. Let's kick off with my top 5 tips of surviving lockdown as a filmmaker. Okay, so number one is portfolio. I don't know why I've just done that. That felt really, really weird. But okay, portfolio, let's talk about that. Now, again, being proactive, portfolio is so important, and I'm sure you will already know this. If you go to pitch for a job, let's say, I don't know, you're going to pitch for filming for a dog company, okay? They sell dog toys and things like that. Now, if you don't have any product-specific images, videos, content, it actually is really hard for you to make a sale, because most of the time, broadly speaking, businesses are only kind of interested, or they're only going to understand your vision if they have some kind of example. Now, we rarely ever get the free time to be able to expand our portfolio. So one little tip that you can do is write down 5 industries that you're most passionate about right now, and then look to expand in each one of those. And that's something that we did over the first lockdown. We had never done much product photography or filmmaking before. Product filmmaking is very different to your usual events, run and gun, those kind of things where it's out and about, even if it's on the side of a mountain like some of the shoots that we've done. Product photography is very different. So for us, it was about, okay, well, we've got this time, so let's firstly invest in our knowledge, let's learn about this new industry, understand how we create these things, and give it a go, because sometimes you learn the most from actually doing these things yourself. We were, as a result, able to build up such a solid portfolio within that industry and with certain products that we were then able to land contracts for a couple of £1,000 for video content. And we wouldn't have been able to get those if it wasn't for expanding our portfolio. So the number one thing that you can do right now is broaden that portfolio. You don't really want to niche down. I do hear a lot of people talking about niches, and I certainly have spoken about it before, but at the current time, you don't want to be in a niche, because if that niche isn't spending money, you haven't got a business, okay? So what we need to do is we need to broaden our portfolio, become more diverse, and then it gives us a lot more opportunities to sell our products. And this is the same whether or not you're a beginner filmmaker who's literally just started. Maybe you've actually just realized that your job isn't as secure as you thought it was, and as a result, what better time to turn your hobby or your passion into a career and try and make some money, right? Or on the other end of the spectrum, you know, if you're similar to us where you own a production company and turns over hundreds of thousands of pounds a year, then yeah, absolutely, you can still apply these same strategies, because that's exactly what we're doing. You know, if you don't have experience in something, now is a great time. If you have any spare time at all, if any of your shoots have been postponed, cancelled, moved, whatever, then use the time wisely to broaden that horizon on portfolio. Number 2 is lead generation. I've just done that again with my hands. I feel like this is going to be a constant thing throughout this video. Anyway. 2, lead generation. Lead generation is basically just accumulating loads and loads of data of your target audience, businesses that you want to sell into, perhaps industries that you're already working within, and you're looking to generate information normally through their website, like email addresses, phone numbers, contacts, connecting with them on LinkedIn, social media, those kind of things. I'm actually going to share with you one of my outreach methods in a moment as well. But lead generation is really, really important, because even if you don't have time right this second to outreach to these people, that list isn't going anywhere. And unless people move jobs, which, you know, okay, it probably happens a little bit more now than it does, but you've got a pretty solid list there that will stand the test of time, and you can continue to email these people down the line. So in your spare time, lead generation is really, really important. We've got 2 guys up in the office right now above me who are doing that exact same thing. We're generating as many leads so that once we've got the content, expanding our portfolio, then we can actually outreach to these people. And we've got them already set up, so we're doing the legwork beforehand. So lead generation, perfect time. Don't be lazy. Don't just wait for people to ring you up, because they're not going to ring you up and say, hey, I want to spend money with you, okay? So try to be as proactive as you can. Set yourself a target. You can easily get 20 to 50 leads every single day. So make sure you're doing that, okay? Make sure you're doing that. Set yourself a target or a weekly target. And if you're not achieving that target, then you were either you were wildly overestimated it, or you're not holding yourself accountable, and as a result, your business is failing because you can't put in the legwork, okay? Now, they're very harsh facts, but that is the reality, you know? As any business owner, no matter what your business is, you need to have a good look at yourself. If your staff aren't happy, you need to have a look at you and what you can be doing to better support them. If your business isn't doing as well as it should do, you need to look at you. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? Are you doing these strategies? Are you doing these methods to get more business? So the buck always stops with you, and that's just a harsh reality of owning the business, unfortunately. Tip number 3 is moving on to outreach. So actual outreaching to people. This might seem like an obvious one, but it's the way you do it and the way you're going to position yourself that's going to provide the most value through this little segment of this video, because outreaching methods are super, super important. But let me ask you this: if someone rings you up and says, "Hey there, I've got a website company and I'm going to give you 50% off our websites. Are you interested?" You're probably going to be like, "No," because they're just cold selling you. So what we want to position ourselves is, we want to become these people's best friends, right? And that's not because we don't want to be their friend and we're using it as a sales tactic. We genuinely want to know how we can help them. And everyone can benefit from video and photo content. There is no two ways around it. So you can help them sell more products by simply positioning yourself differently, okay? And as a result, your response rate is going to be much higher, and also so is your actual likelihood of getting work. Now, I've released a video recently, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about this outreach method because you can click a couple of videos back, and I told you the #1 platform that's working right now, and that is Instagram. And within that video, I share with you exactly what we're saying to our clients to get response and potential customers and how we're getting work. So make sure you go and watch that video because it's got tons of valuable information. And by the way, spoiler alert, Instagram is still the #1 platform that we are using to get the majority of our work through. The response rates are so much higher. Our strategies are working so much better to get more money through the doors, and we're able to help so much more people. But in terms of outreach, again, I want to bring this back to your reasoning why. You cannot just cold email, message, phone someone and expect them to buy from you if you actually seriously don't have anything that's going to help them. And if you're not approaching it in the right way, you're literally not going to get any work. So what you need to do is you need to think, how can I help this particular person or this particular industry? If you're looking at an industry problem and you can provide a solution to that problem, then that makes things a lot easier. So let's have a look at small shops, small online shops, okay, that sell stuff perhaps for Christmas that's coming up. Things like that, okay? So what kind of problems that might they be facing at the moment? Well, you could probably provide a solution that by you creating a video, they will get more clicks on their advert than they would do normally, therefore they've got more chances of sales. Now that's a bit more of a complex one because we're looking at their advertising strategies and we're looking at how we can offer them and help their problems in that industry. If I was to bring this down to something a little bit more simple, let's have a look at your local area. What businesses in your local area, what do they do firstly? Once you've established that, you can then look at, okay, well, what are my local pubs and restaurants doing? I'm guessing at the moment they might be moving on to takeaways if they're trying to stay open, if they can afford to stay open. So how can you help those people? Well, you could do a promotional video that shows off, firstly, the amazing food they're offering, and also the fact they're now offering a delivery service. And therefore, as a result, you can create this video for them. They can use that as promotional material for the local community, which will inevitably boost their sales. And if it's going to boost their sales, then it's worth every penny. So you can see I'm not focused on price as much and what they might respond to. I'm coming to them with a solution to their problem. They're much more likely to have a meeting with you. And then within that meeting, you can discuss pricing. And hey, you know, if they turn around and say, look, obviously given the current situation, we can't get anywhere near that price, but would you accept this price? You have the option, you have the choice to then say, well, yes, okay, I haven't got much work on either, so let's collaborate, let's do something together, and then hopefully we've created a good relationship for the long term. If you can't find a mutual ground in terms of finances or some kind of swap strategy or free of charge strategy, then that's fine. You know, it was worth outreaching to anyway, because once they get back up on their feet, they might be in a better situation and be able to reach out to you. Plus, if you've done step 2 properly and you've got your lead generation, you've always got their details to hand. So next time something changes massively within your business, or you're doing a sale or something like that, you've got the list to then outreach back to as well. So outreaching is really, really important, and this is starting to really break into the top 3. You can see how ready. We're building our portfolio, we're getting all the people that we want to sell to, and then we're positioning ourselves properly in order to sell to those people. And that's why this becomes really, really powerful. Now you're saying to me, Ross, I've done everything. I have done everything that you've told me, and I just cannot for the life of me make a sale. I don't know what it is. I'm not charging very much and I'm outreaching to these people. Well, okay. The next thing you really need to look at is going to be my tip number 4, is building a strong brand. The first thing these people are going to do, especially if you're outreaching on LinkedIn, is they're going to look at your social profiles. And I see this with a lot of my students in the academy and people within the aspiring videographers and filmmakers group. Some of those people literally post things that are so irrelevant to their industry on their business pages. So they might be posting about a party they went to, or just anything else other than video, photo content, whatever the services are that you're selling. So you need to think about, put yourself in that client's shoes, okay? So let's sit down and think, right, so someone's just approached you, they say that they can really, really help your business, okay? And you're like, okay, I'm willing to hear. So you click through, they've outreached on Instagram, so you've clicked through, you've had a little look on their Instagram page, and it's got photos of, well, nothing. The web designer we spoke about earlier, you look at his website page and there's just not much on there at all. It doesn't really say much about them. That's because they don't have a strong brand. And if you don't have a strong brand, then people are going to be much more reluctant to reply to you. It's called social validation and just validation in general. They need to be able to look at your page and think, hey, these people are cool. They're the people I want to work with. This is worth pursuing. This is worth finding out more. You want to create that curiosity. But again, you want to know that when you land on that person's page, you know exactly what they do, and these are the people for you. So now is a great time, because you're probably going to have a lot of time on your hands, okay? So now is a really, really good time to have a look at your your business profile and how you can create a stronger brand. So look at your website, look at your social media pages. Does that reflect what it is that you're about? Does that represent your ethos? What do you stand for? Are there any charities you get involved in? You know, does your page tell me everything about you as a freelancer, a filmmaker, production company, whatever, in that creative bubble? How does your page represent you? Is it on brand? And if any of you filmmakers are out there and you work with bigger companies, you'll completely understand how many times do we hear that saying, oh, I like that idea, but it's not very on brand, right? You need to have a little think about that yourselves as well. And how do your social profiles come across to someone? Does it look on brand to you? Does it look good and professional and sleek? Because there's normally a bit of a shortfall. So spending time to develop a strong brand as my tip number 4, which is a really, really good strategy over lockdown. Now, finally, tip number 5, I'm going to talk to you about an RCP system, okay? Now, you already have learned that from stages 1 to 4, we're looking at firstly developing our diverse portfolio, then we're looking at lead generation and actually accumulating the people we want to sell to, then we're outreaching to those people, watching the previous video to know exactly how we're outreaching, but also we're going to position ourselves as their best friends. We're going to set meetings with them and looking for like solutions to their problems so that you can help them. We're also going to make sure that our business brand is very, very strong and that it looks amazing so that there's no reason that they wouldn't want to go with you over someone else. Now, tip number 5 is going to be the thing that makes you survive a lockdown, and it is the RCP system. Now, I'm actually going to do a business event on this sometime next week, and I'm going to post details about this in the Aspiring Videographers and Filmmakers group, so make sure you are a member if you're not already. It's completely free to join, so why wouldn't you? And I'm going to do a business event specifically on some of the most major points that will be able to create a stable business for anyone and drastically increase your turnover despite the fact we're currently in a pandemic. Now, an RCP system effectively is a retainer program, and this is something I want you to really, really think about. Look at your portfolio, look at people that you've done work for, or if you're starting out, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to work with a variety of people, then move them onto this plan. But we need to determine what kind of industries are going to give us the most amount of work over a period of a year. Those people with high turnover of products, fashion industries, fitness brands, things like that. Who's going to want the most amount of content? Because those kind of industries are really, really good for retainers. Now, a retainer effectively is a monthly fee in return for something else, and these work really well to create a stable business. So you can spend a lot of time really thinking about your own RCP system, what that would look like, and how can you uniform this. Every video, of course, is going to be different, and that's going to bring with it its own challenges. Every project and client's different. Again, that's going to bring its own challenges. And that's why on this business event that I'm running, I'm actually going to share with you my own RCP system, so that you get a full understanding of what that kind of looks like and how you can effectively copy that and use that to your own benefit. Now, if you're watching this video after this event has happened, because I'm only going to do that as a one-off, then what I want you to do is go and have a look at the Perspective Academy. It's simply, you can find it on my social pages, obviously, as well, which is @_Ross Welch on Instagram. You'll be able to find it easy enough. But look at the Perspective Academy. It is the most comprehensive course out there for building and growing a stable production company to regular 5-figure months. And I explain everything from the mindset of business in topics 1 all the way through to sales, meeting settings, strategies, templates for business documents, absolutely everything, all the way through to employing people and future growth. So definitely go and check that out. But for those of you who are watching this before the event, make sure you register when I post the details about that. And this RCP system is the retainer program, and that has been able to excel us over the last couple of years from being in my parents' living room working from a desk to owning a house. I have a studio that's behind me now, in case you couldn't guess. This isn't a green screen, by the way. I get so many comments about people, oh, nice green screen. It's not a green screen, it's very much real. You can hear it, right? We've also got a team of people working that are all working and editing away and outreaching upstairs. And we've grown our business well into the 6 figures as a sole and direct result of moving people onto these systems, because it's created the stable base. And remember, I said before, it's completely fine to feel unsure and uneasy about this new lockdown. There's a lot of uncertainty. Now, you can take that uncertainty away by implementing something like this. Your outreach strategies and everything I've explained so far are absolute gold, and you should be doing these things. One is not without the other. If you just take one thing and do that, it's not going to work. If you take 3 things and do that, it's not going to work. They all need to happen together. And once you start to build up that cycle, you just repeat that cycle time and time again. But it does massively revolve around you being proactive, holding yourself accountable. And that's the thing as well, you know, some people say, well, Ross, why do I have to pay for your course? Why should I have to do that? And it's because people won't keep themselves accountable. If you're giving me £1,000, you're going to make sure you do everything you can to get that £1,000 back and more. You're going to listen to every single word I say so that you can actually see a return on that investment. I can guarantee if I gave 100 people my course for free right now from this video, you wouldn't even log in, or the vast majority of you wouldn't even log in. And if you're sitting there thinking that you would, you're like, hey, I actually would log in, I would. Well, then you know that something like the Academy is going to work 100% for you. Now, this isn't a sales video at all. I don't want to get into that, but that's that mindset shift I was talking about, okay? So if you feel like, hey, I would log into that, I would do that, I'm watching this video, I want that extended learning, I want to make my business the best that I can, and you've got that drive, then you will succeed regardless of the investment you put into your learning, because you will always want to get a good return on investment. So make sure you are accountable, make sure over this lockdown period you're using your time wisely and you're not procrastinating too much, okay? So just follow these strategies, and honestly, it's going to transform your lockdown, especially compared to last time. These are strategies that we are using right now as a UK-based production company. There's no hidden secrets. I'm going to walk away from here right now, and I'm going to go and finish off doing exactly these same steps. And at the moment, we're even diversing our portfolio into a brand new market, because again, it doesn't matter how established we are, we don't have relevant industry experience that we can then use when we outreach to these people next week. Now, for us, things happen very, very quick. So we're already into the filming process and we're lead generating at exactly the same time. So as of Monday morning, we're hitting these people with exactly what they want to see and the solutions to their problems. Now, I really hope that you found this video useful. If you have, then please leave a like and also subscribe to the page. It really does mean a lot. I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I want to help as many people as I possibly can. And like I said, I want to give more away for free than most people will make you pay for. So if you've enjoyed it, make sure you click subscribe, go and join the various groups I've mentioned throughout this video, and I really look forward to hearing your successes and hopefully seeing you on my live event next week. All the best, see you soon.